spinning.
It's done being hit. Hi, everybody.
Getting hit.
Good morning. It's Tuesday. How do we just love Tuesdays here on the Chicks on the Right show. Tuesdays are great.
It's still spinning for me. Like, are you seeing people? Because, like, to me, it looks like it's still spinning.
Well, I mean, I always see people because I always see people in the comments. So
right, but like, it's not saying live to me.
Really?
Are we live, you guys?
Maybe we
Like,
should
is
wait
it
a second.
live?
We should probably wait a second to make sure.
I'm gonna hit the button again.
Are we live? You guys, oh, people said terrific Tuesday. Kenny said terrific Tuesday. So people are saying here.
But
Jennifer
like,
says yes.
Okay, all right.
Yep.
It's
Jennifer says yes, we are live. Yep. Grub Dub says you are. Now you're okay. You just went a little black on us. Okay. Are you guys seeing her? All right. That wasn't good. Mock is gone. Is it just me? Can you guys just see me? Is it just me?
Am I here now?
Yeah, you're here. Okay.
What the heck, man?
Okay. Yeah, you were spinning and then it was just me. Everybody said Mock is gone. Okay.
That's so crazy. And that's for me, it was like spinning and like not live. And then all of a sudden it just said something went wrong. Try again.
Did you have to get out and get back in? What was going on?
It kicked me out. It like said something's wrong and try again. And all my videos are gone.
Really?
I mean, it's fine. Like I can
always
get
them back in.
You know? Okay. So, but you keep doing.
All right. Okay. I will tell you guys. Okay. I will go ahead and do my little spiel here and tell you guys that everybody needs to go to our website, chicksontheright.com. Go to chicksontheright.com and you scroll down and there's our happy little faces there. You can click on the link for subscribing to our newsletter. You should do that if you haven't already done that. Our newsletter has happy little morsels every single day. You can go and subscribe and get stuff from us. And it's not annoying. It's just wonderful stuff from us and all of our happy little writers. So make sure that you're doing that. It's a nice little
summary.
It is. What I mean? It is a nice summary.
Nice little, here's a recap of like all the stuff that you may have missed. I'm still adding videos because everything is like so slow for me today. I don't know why.
Well, you guys, I can tell you the story about how yesterday was sort of Mock had her kind of a breakdown day last week.
Yeah.
Where it just was overwhelmed with stuff. Yesterday, I had a day. It was just a day. And I don't know if you guys can relate to this, ladies and gentlemen, but yeah, I was like, you know what? It's been an overwhelming day. We had a lot of meetings yesterday. My husband, like everything, a lot of stuff going on in my family. My husband is actually visiting his mother's having surgery, and there's just a lot going on in our life personally. Anyways, I was like, I'm going to go and get myself a pedicure. Have had a pedicure in a couple weeks. I'm going to go do that. So I show up to my place. I get there. I'm like halfway through the pedicure and they're ready to paint my nails. They put my little flip-flops back on. I wore 2 different shoes to the pedicure. That's how frazzled I was yesterday. And I go, oh my God, I am a hot mess. I wore 2 different shoes to my sweet lady who does my toenails. And she goes, you just noticed that? And I said, yeah, I just noticed it. I'm a hot mess. And so if anybody can relate to that, that was the day that I had yesterday.
Oh my gosh, am I gone again?
No, you're just frozen.
Really? Can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
What is going on with my connection? Like it says I have 1 bar and I'm not even, like I'm Etherneted or whatever.
Yeah. You're Ethernetted.
So hopefully, but am I still frozen or is it okay?
No, you're not frozen. You're just kind of fuzzy.
God, I don't know what's
going on. Get a cute
on.
hat, though. Your hat is really cute today.
It is the cutest hat. This is my birthday hat from Daisy, and I love it. And it matches my Be Happy sweatshirt. So
from her mama. Yeah.
All right. So some people are saying I'm fine. Some people are saying I'm blurry. We're just going to try to get through. And hopefully it will work because we do have some headlines to hit on before we get to videos and before we get to the big news of the day, which of course is the Devon Archer testimony. Who else was disappointed that was not a live hearing that we got to watch?
Right.
What the hell was that?
Exactly. I know. Closed door. I was like, everything else is open door. And then they closed the doors on that one. What's going on with that?
I was so mad because I was really counting on that. I thought it was going to be like another hearing that we got to watch. And so just mad
Yeah.
about that. But no, we
Yeah.
did not get to watch it. We just had to hear about it after the fact, which meant, of course, that now we hear two different sides of the story, right? We hear from idiots like Dan Goldman that, oh, yeah, everything's on the up and up. And then we hear from Republicans who are like, this is shady AF.
Mhm.
So, now we'll just have to wait for more truth, more evidence to come out. And in the meantime, little tidbit about Hunter is that he apparently in the court date that he just had where his whole deal fell through and the judge was like, this is shady and you've got 30 days to sort this out, but we're not taking it the way it is. In that same court date, apparently, he lied to the judge under oath by saying he is in current good standing with the Connecticut bar. And that is a lie. He has been suspended from the Connecticut bar for the past 2 years for not paying his annual $75 membership dues.
Yeah, it's with one, I'm not surprised that he lied because that whole family is just full of liars, right? Two, he actually has a degree in law.
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
And he's a lawyer. Can you imagine him ever practicing law? That guy?
He's probably a lawyer in how do you set up 20 shady LLCs?
Right. This is the thing. Like, and then do blow art on the side.
Right.
I mean, this guy is he is shady. The whole family is shady. They're just full of criminals.
Yeah, everything around that family, literally everything around it stinks to high heaven.
Right, it just drips of skeeviness.
Yeah, and it just has this stench, which is why they should get one of these.
They totally should. They should. It may not work. I mean, I don't know if anything's going to work to just like take the stench away. It's going to be Eden Pure.
EdenPureDeals.com they've got a huge special on these thunderstorm air purifiers, which are an absolute godsend. They have a 3-pack now that you can get $200 off on. And you're probably thinking, well, why in the world would I need 3? Because look at how the teeny tiny little portable thing is so handy for multiple rooms and a car or maybe 2 cars. Here on the side of it, you'll see that they have a little port for a USB cable, which means that you can plug these in your car and get rid of any weird, maybe you've had some questionable fast food choices, right?
We're not judging.
No judgment. But or maybe you have stinky athletes that you have to transport around. Whatever the case is, this will take care of your car. And also it will take care of any stinky rooms that you might have in your home. So it's a great deal right now going on at EdenPureDeals.com. Just use discount code CHICKS to save $200 on a Thunderstorm 3-pack today. EdenPureDeals.com. They're amazing. I love them.
Yeah, they are. They get the stank out.
They get the stank out for real.
They do.
Okay. Other just little notes to mention. Inexplicably, there has been an 81% rise in the number of leprosy cases in Central Florida.
What's happening, Florida? What's going on? What's happening? Anybody here from Florida?
What leprosy was a thing?
Are you okay, Florida? What's going on?
What's going on is right. Because
and how do you you get it via touch, right? It's a contact thing.
I don't know how you get. I don't want it. I don't
want it either.
That was a thing in America.
I just want that.
No, thank you. Thank you, but no to that.
Right.
Also, Pee Wee Herman dead at the age of 70 due to cancer that he was keeping pretty well under wraps, I guess, for the last 6 years.
Yeah.
And I don't even know what kind of cancer it was.
Yeah, that sucks. I mean, I like the whole. Remember growing up, Pee Wee Herman?
Oh, it's a huge
the
deal.
Movie, yeah, and yeah. I mean, that was great. I liked all that. He was kind of a. You want to speak highly of people who have deceased, who are deceased, but he had some troubles.
He did have some troubles.
Yeah, like remember the theater thing and.
I do.
And then after that, there was like stuff found on his computers that was not so savory. So, yeah.
But back in the good old days, he was Pee Wee Herman, and
he was Pee Wee Herman, and so we'll remember him as that, right? Okay.
That's exactly right. We'll remember him
Mhm.
as that. Also, this was kind of a little juicy morsel of gossip that I thought was worth sharing because it was from Alan Dershowitz, and that is not someone that you typically expect to hear gossip from. But he was apparently on Charlie Kirk's podcast, and he was talking about how liberals are much worse than conservatives when it comes to having tolerance for differing viewpoints. And I think that's really true. And I know,
Shocker.
right? And he says it was never more evident to him than when he was having a 75th birthday party. He was turning 75. He invited a whole bunch of people to come and celebrate with him. Two of those people included Geraldo Rivera, with whom apparently he's good friends, and former President Obama, who he also was friends with. And when Obama found out that Geraldo was coming, I guess Geraldo at the time was criticizing Obama for whatever reason. There were many that he could have chosen to criticize him about. And so Obama told Alan Dershowitz that he would not come to the party unless Geraldo was disinvited. And so Dershowitz was like, no, I'm
I'm
not.
not gonna do that.
Just be a
Because
grown
you're
up and come.
right. Like, what a girl.
Right? And
He's such a teenage girl, Obama is.
Yeah.
It's like, but he said mean things about me, so I'm not gonna come.
I mean,
I'm
can
not
you
gonna
believe
come.
that?
On pink we wear on Wednesdays we wear pink. Totally screwed that. But so that's how he's acting. He's acting like a teenage girl. Like
Yeah.
I actually am not super surprised by that Obama was like that. But I mean, think of all the other liberals that are like that in your life, really.
Oh, yeah.
That I mean, along the way, over 14 years that we've dealt with people who are like, oh my God, you do that show? I can't be friends with you.
Yeah.
You know, you're a conservative. I can't be friends with you. It's just, wow. Or we cannot like agree to disagree on this particular one thing, like about climate change or about abortion or about whatever. We can't be friends anymore. It's just ridiculous.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb.
So dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to remind everybody because apparently Facebook once again is doing their Facebookiness, and they've turned off apparently notifications by default. So if you are someone who's been used to getting notified on Facebook that we're going live and that's no longer happening, there's a way to do this. If you go to our main Facebook page, the Chicks on the Right page, not the group and not the insiders, but the actual Chicks on the Right business page, press the following button, like the button that says following, and then that will give you a little drop down and then set us as a favorite. And it has to be done from a computer, not a smartphone. It's got to be done on a computer. And then you in the following window also set video to receive all notifications, and then set live video to receive all notifications.
God, so that's like a lot of work.
I know, it's ridiculous. Where before you could just be like, yeah, I want to be notified.
I know.
And now they're like, well, we want to make you jump through 97 hoops first, and then maybe we'll let you be notified, and maybe we won't. They're just such jerks.
He is. I know. He's such an alien from Glayborg 9. He just really, they hate conservatives, you guys.
Right? We didn't even need that hearing. Like, he is all the evidence we've ever needed that aliens
are
here.
I know. It's like conservatives are over here going, yeah, we know. I mean, we know all of these things we've known for years. Tell us something we don't know.
Thank you, Michael Steller. He says, good morning, hot chicks. And Beach Sue G says, big hugs, Daisy. Love you both.
Thank you so much. It's very, very sweet. Thank you.
All right. Well, let's get to some videos, and especially let's talk about what happened yesterday in the closed door hearing that Devon Archer, former business partner and BFF of Hunter Biden's, went to answer questions. So amazingly, there are two different sides coming out of these hearings. I keep hearing over and over and over and over and over again on multiple mainstream media channels, there's no evidence, despite the mounds of evidence connecting Hunter Biden business deals to Joe Biden. And like, everybody is just like, oh yeah, it's completely normal to have 20 shell companies for no reason that are, that's total, what?
Like, yeah, don't you do that? You guys don't do that.
Also, what are these? Why are they, what are those? Okay.
Don't even talk to me about hair. All right. Don't get me started. I will go on a rant of epic proportions.
I think people would actually enjoy that, frankly.
Do not get me started on here. Okay.
All right. Anyway, so the first clip that you're going to see of Dan Goldman, and he is just the slimiest of slime.
He really is. That
Right?
guy. He's like that lawyer.
Well, and I think that this actual appearance on This Week, which is I think an ABC show, this is before the whole Devon Archer even thing happened. And he was being asked by that little squirrely guy, Jonathan Karl, whether he thought that Joe Biden would pardon Hunter if in fact Hunter is prosecuted. His answer is so laughably hysterical that I was like, we got to kick off the video show portion of this program with this. Listen to what he says Joe Biden has done.
This week said that a pardon for Hunter Biden is off the table, but we haven't heard President Biden himself rule it out. Do you think a pardon for his son would be a mistake?
Yes, and I don't think there's any chance that President Biden is going to do that, unlike his predecessor, who pardoned all of his friends and anyone who had any access to him. President Biden has restored the integrity of the Department of Justice, and I think you see that in this case.
My God. I mean, how can he say that out loud? It's like a week ago, this is the same guy who was saying that there are two tiers of justice, and Hunter Biden is he's getting the crap out of the deal on that one. You know, like Hunter Biden is getting a bad, he's getting a bad rap. And
oh my God,
seriously. And it's like, I cannot with this guy. He is delusional.
Isn't it amazing? Yeah.
He's such a weasel. Such a weasel, this guy.
Oh my gosh. And so then after the hearing, I don't even know if you call it a hearing. Is that what it was? After the Q&A period with Devon Archer behind closed doors, Dan, of course, ran out to talk to the press about how absolutely everything was on the up and up. And in fact, those 20 plus times that Hunter included Joe Biden in on phone calls or meetings that he was conducting with his business partners from all across the world, they were mostly just exchanging niceties, you guys. It was
weather.
It was weather chat.
They were talking about weather, you guys.
So to confirm, you're saying that the speakerphone conversations, they don't seem concerning to you because there was no specifics about business, and it just seemed like
it was clear that it was part of the daily conversations that Hunter Biden had with his father, and it was and sounded like most of the time now President Biden didn't even know who the people he was at dinner. He was just asked to say hello. And he would, talk about the way he described it several times. They asked over and over and over. He described what the weather was, how what's going on your end. The witness was very, very consistent that none of those conversations ever had to do with any business dealings or transactions. They were purely what he called casual conversations.
Doesn't that contradict the president's statement saying that he never talked to any of Hunter Biden's business associates? Clearly he talked, whether it's about the weather or whatever, but he said specifically that he's never talked to them. Doesn't this contradict them?
I don't know what his comment is, and if we're gonna, well, I don't think that's what he said.
Is it not?
It is exactly. It is precisely what he said. I would follow up the question with, why are you so sweaty? Oh, why? What's going on with your face?
Raise your hand if as a 50-year-old person, whether that's your age now or not, but how many 50-year-old people, whenever they're conducting business, call their dads?
Right, exactly.
I
was gonna ask the same question. Like, or it doesn't even not even at 50, at 20, at 30, at 40. When have you ever in your life had your parents in on your business conversations? Like,
unless you were peddling their influence.
When have you done it once, let alone 20 freaking times? Like, that's just not something that you do. And the Democrats are acting as if this is something that is a normal thing. It's not normal. This is not normal. It's not normal in corporate America. It's not normal. It shouldn't be normal in political America. It shouldn't be normal anywhere. Like, this is effed up. Like, it's just not something that we should normalize anywhere.
No. It's not
anywhere.
And it's just one piece of the mounds of evidence that Democrats are insisting doesn't exist. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, then how do you explain that? How do you
Right.
explain his need to involve his dad in exchanging pleasantries or whatever with every single one of your shady business dealing partners?
Exactly. It's obvious to everybody with a brain that this was him trying to sell the Biden brand. He was trying, it's influence. It's influence peddling. That's what it is. That's obviously what this is. There's nothing else that it can be. That's all this is, you idiots. And they know it. And we know it. Everybody knows it. That's what
Everybody
it is.
knows it.
I mean, stop it. And this guy knows it because he's sweating like a pig. Look at him.
Well, and he's like, well, I don't know that Biden ever said that. Let's review, shall we?
God, these people.
He never said that he has never spoken to anyone.
Never discussed with my son or my brother or anyone else anything having to do with their businesses, period. I did anything wrong, and I didn't realize he was on the board till after he'd been on the board, and at the same time, he has come forward and said it was a mistake on his part to be on the board. I don't know what he was doing. I know he was on the board. I found out he was on the board after he was on the board, and that was it. The fact is, I was unaware of his investments until those occurred, and I've never discussed what my son's business with him because I didn't want any conflict. I don't discuss business with my son. I didn't know that was the case. I've never spoken to my son about his overseas business dealings. I've never discussed my business or their business, my sons or daughters. No.
He's a liar. And what else? And what else is he lying about? What else are they all lying about? They lie.
Yep. And that's why I love this analysis from Jonathan Turley, who is just like, he's lying. Hey, he's a big liar. I mean, because at this point, you can just say it. Like, there's no question about it. And it has to be answered for. Here's Turley's explanation.
Quite frankly, is that the president has been lying. I mean, he lied during the presidential campaign. He lied as president when he had to have his staff repeat that he had no knowledge, no interaction with these business dealings. That's clearly false. I mean, these are accounts of almost 24 calls made with these associates, some of whom are the most corrupt figures in Europe. Where the vice president would call in. That's the point of influence peddling. When Archer says that he was there to sell the brand, the brand is influence peddling, and Joe Biden is the object of that influence peddling. And so you need to show that you will have access, that he's just a phone call away. And what's amazing is that you have people like Representative Goldman saying, you know, when he's put on the speakerphone, he didn't actually, deal with business. Yeah. Well, no one expects that in the middle of Cafe Milano that you're going to order that the prosecutor in Ukraine gets an ice pick and then order breadsticks. I mean, the point is that we have him on speed dial. And what we also know is that we've had millions and millions of dollars transferred through this labyrinth of accounts that seem really designed to hide these transfers to the Biden family. That's the sort of apex of corruption. I mean, I've been a critic of influence peddling for decades. I've never seen anything like the Biden family.
Yeah, but I mean, he's been lying. He plagiarized his way through law school. He's lied about his credentials since God knows when. I mean, since the very beginning. He's lied his entire life. And a lot of us have seen that. You know, people on the right have seen it. They've been trying to point that out. And then the people on the left are like, it's fine. You know, Democrats lie. That's what we do. It's fine. Lies are fine. And so he's made a living off of lying. This is what he's done. And then he's passed that on to his kids.
Yeah. And now it's like, and still, even after all of that yesterday, there's still CNN is just like, I don't know why they keep talking about.
I know
they have no evidence. What?
Jessica Tarlov was saying that yesterday on the 5. They have no evidence. There's no smoking gun, basically. Are you kidding me with this?
Everything is on fire. There's no more need for a smoking gun because like everything is on legit fire.
They just want so badly to believe that this is a good guy. Yeah. They want it so bad. And then they have the audacity to say that people who like Trump are in a cult. And it's like, can you see yourself in the mirror? Can you see? I mean, this guy has been in politics forever. And he is literally built on a foundation of lies. I mean, that
Sits on the throne.
He is. He's one big fat lie. That's what he is. And they will not admit what is happening here. They can't see it. They just cannot. They will not. It's crazy.
It is absolutely bananas. You guys, if you are not giving your dogs Rough Greens every single day to help them with things like energy, digestion, bad breath, itching and scratching, any kinds of things that your dog is showing or displaying signs of that are related to those kinds of issues, typically are nutrition related. And that is why you need to give your dogs Rough Greens. This is green powder. The founder of Rough Greens is naturopathic Dr. Dennis Black, and he has been focused on improving the health of dogs like his entire life. And so this has all the stuff your dogs need. It's got vitamins and minerals, digestive enzymes, probiotics, omega oils, antioxidants, all the good things that your dog needs, just like you do. And so this is the essential multivitamin, if you will, for your dog. And they love the taste of it. So you just sprinkle a little bit on your dog's dead food, and this brings that food to life. And you can try it for 100% free. There is going to be no cost to you for a trial bag of Rough Greens except for shipping. You're just going to pay for shipping, and that is it. You get to try this amazing product for free and help your dogs live their longest, best lives when you go to Rough Chicks. That's RUFF, roughchicks.com, RUFFchicks.com. Use code CHICKS and get yourself that free Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens. Check it out. You're going to love it. Your dogs are going to love it. And then your dogs are going to love you. And they're going to give you way more affection. And who doesn't want that?
Who doesn't want the dog cuddles? Is YouTube frozen? Is it really frozen?
Really?
I don't know. Somebody said YouTube, or one of the Facebook users said that YouTube is frozen. Is it okay? Is it all right? Just making sure.
I mean, things are borky today.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's very crazy today. Yeah, everything's weird.
All right. So let's move on to Gutfeld, because they were, of course, reacting to everybody's reaction to this entire debacle. And so I thought Greg made some good points, some good analogies to how the media has been covering this.
Or not.
No, how dare they? If they only talked about the weather, Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky were only playing Yahtzee. All right. Jeffrey Epstein was just running an orphanage on that island. It is funny because to listen to that guy, Goldman, that idiot, say that it's preposterous. No one in their entire existence, anybody who's had a career, has ever had an employee or anybody call their dad in a meeting.
Right.
It's never happened. It doesn't even, I don't even remember happening in high school or college. It's just the weirdest thing. But this is a guy, that's what he did for a living. He made it rain using his dad's influence.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when it comes to the media coverage, like I flip, you know how I flip. I went to CNN, I went to MSNBC. They were not covering this. That nobody was talking about this. It's like the biggest, this is the president of the United States. And they were like, la, 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 nothing to see here, la, nothing. They did not cover this yesterday. And if they did, if they like covered it barely, if they touched on it, they were just like, it's just a nothing burger, you guys. Like
no evidence.
The Republicans are just, they are being so stupid. They're being ridiculous, you guys. There's no evidence. There's no smoking gun. They can't tie him to anything. There's no wrongdoing here. This is how they covered it. If they covered it on like in a minuscule fashion, it was ridiculous. It's just crazy how, I mean, if you only watch CNN and MSNBC, you have such a completely different vision of the world, you know? And then it's like they went on to talking about the war in Ukraine.
And no
Give
one
us more
ever
of your
pushes
money.
back. No one ever says, hey, okay, so if there's no evidence, how would you explain 20 shell companies? How would you explain Hunter's need to involve his dad on the phone 20 plus times with these foreign business associates? What is your explanation for those things? That doesn't sound insane.
Yeah, it's sheer propaganda. It's just sheer state-run propaganda, those networks. It's nuts.
It is. And it's such gaslighting. And so this is an unrelated example of Democrat gaslighting, but I thought it was such a unbelievable one that I wanted to share. This is, of course, Brennan. And what he's talking about is how military support of Trump continues to exist even after the whole classified documents indictment. And so he's trying to make a point that, well, people in the military or supporters of the military or supporters of the country should be so furious at Trump for waving around a classified document that's like, because that puts the military at risk.
Oh
and I'm just like, okay, but do you see how the other dude killed 13 soldiers?
Right.
Does actual death and risk not matter? Is it just waving around a paper that matters? I couldn't believe it. Here is what he said.
And what really is amazing is that recklessness, the U.S. military relies on the element of surprise in order to be effective in terms of its military operations, but also it relies on an element of surprise to keep its personnel safe. But by divulging this information, he has put the lives of U.S. military personnel at risk.
Oh, my God.
And it's so puzzling why so many individuals within Trump's MAGA base who have children or spouses or siblings in the U.S. military would be dismissive of his recklessness, which puts their loved ones at risk.
This guy.
And that's why I think it's critically important that this indictment proceed, focusing on his recklessness in terms of divulging this information that is so critical to our national security and to the safety and welfare of U.S. military personnel.
That's just,
what an absolute piece of crap that guy is. We all watched what happened seriously, we watched what happened.
And
like,
no one pushes back.
There's nobody to push back, right? I mean, but it's like we watched what happened to those 13 people. And it's just astounding. Like, does he not think that if somebody else besides the lemmings who are watching MSNBC and CNN all the time, if us, we see that clip, does he not think that we're going to watch that and go, you're an idiot?
Right.
Like, we actually watch real time what happened in that situation. It's just crazy. Like,
he's engaging in a hypothetical that what Trump could have possibly done by waving around that document.
We saw
reality.
We saw reality
actually happened. And and those lives have there's never been justice.
Never.
Which he promised. There still has not been justice.
And there won't be. There won't be as long as Biden is president, because he's on vacation all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And he doesn't care. He does not care about the military. Democrats don't care about the military. They don't care.
Oh my gosh, so infuriating. And then meanwhile, Biden, he is on vacation. In fact, we've got a shot of him and Jill hanging out on the beach for another 10 days. But before he left on his vacation, he sat down to do one of those like soft feel good interviews with that, I don't remember the dude's name, but you'll recognize him when you see him. He's a pretty popular interview dude. And the first clip I have to share with you is that he's telling a story about cufflinks made from nuts and bolts. It's rambling, but I thought if I have to sit through this, then by golly,
everybody does. You're welcome.
You're welcome. Here it is.
Grade school, we didn't often get invited to the cotillion, which was the local school down the street at Mount Pleasant School. And so I got invited and I was going to go. I was all excited about going. I think it was 9th grade, maybe it was 8th grade, a little dance. And there was a guy who was a good athlete. I was a relatively good athlete. He was a good athlete from the school, the other school, big guy. Became friends.
He's a big guy.
So I'm getting dressed and I didn't have a shirt to wear. So my mother got my uncle's shirt, who was a smaller man than my dad, and French cuffs and rolled up the cuffs so that who looked like it would fit. And we couldn't find my dad's cufflinks. So my mom went and got a nut and a bolt. I wonder why she was downstairs in the laundry room looking for, and put them on. I said, Mom, I can't do this. They'll make fun of me. I'll be embarrassed. She said, anybody comes up and says anything to you, you look at them and say, and here's what she told me to say. This guy, Frank, came up to me and said, hey, look at Biden. Look what he's got here. Hey. And I looked at him and said, you don't have a pair of these?
That was the story.
You guys, isn't he relatable? So relatable to you. You guys feel like you are like one with Biden. What do you want to bet that didn't happen?
Oh my God. I would put so much money on that bet.
I know, me too. I feel like if I could retire on the money that I would put on that stupid ass story that didn't happen. God, this guy
didn't happen. Oh my
so
God.
out of his mind, just completely out of it.
And of course, that interviewer is like,
I know, he's like, you're so witty. Oh my God, you're so funny. God, you're so great.
Oh my gosh. And of course now, for the past, 2-3 days, Biden has all of a sudden discovered that he has a 7th grandchild, just like out of thin air.
Good for you.
This granddaughter
Good for you.
has appeared out of nowhere, and he is actually now including her in the count of grandkids. Now, for a long time, it's been 6 grandkids. That's been the narrative over and over
and
over
a dog.
again.
6 grandkids and a dog.
Yeah.
And the stockings. And now, poof.
Just
there's
like
an
that.
almost 5-year-old grandkid. It just appears. Isn't that great when all of a sudden just a almost 5-year-old grandkid just appears in your life?
It's a summer miracle. But now he's going to pretend, just watch, and KJP will be doing the same thing. I guarantee it. They're just going to all of a sudden pretend that they've always counted 7 grandkids.
Yeah.
Here he is in the same interview.
I have 7 grandkids. 4 of them, 5 of them old enough to talk on the phone. Every day I either text them or call them.
Mm-hmm.
5 talk to him on the phone. So the other 2 hate him. Is that the deal?
Or they're just too little to talk on the phone.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know the ages of all of them. But
okay, so he's
doing now.
So he's been on vacation for 39% of his presidency. So almost so a third of his presidency he's been on vacation. Is that what you guys do at your job? Yeah, well over a third of his presidency. So is that what you guys do in your job? Especially when you're supposed to be the leader of the free world.
You've got things to do.
You have just maybe a little bit because the world is basically crumbling and our country's going in the crapper. He's been on vacation for over a third of it, right? So think about that. I mean, that's, over a third. That's a lot.
It's
a whole lot. I mean, he's basically careening towards a half of his presidency has been on vacation. Can you imagine if we did that on our job?
We wouldn't have a job.
Yeah. Any other job that I've had in my life, even in corporate America, I had 2 weeks of vacation, 2 weeks.
And then you built that up the longer you stayed.
Oh my God. It took me 5 years to get 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And God, he's not going to be in there, hopefully, for 5 years. So, I mean, this guy has taken so much vacation. Yeah, Obama did too. It's nuts how much vacation that this guy gets, and he's not doing anything.
Yeah.
And we're paying him to do, beach time.
It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Trump had himself a good ad that came out, I guess, earlier this week. And if you haven't seen it, I wanted to share it. Here it is.
What do you call someone this weak? Someone caught in a bribery scandal that made them millions, complicit in a government cover-up, and uses your government to get special deals for his family? You call them Joe Biden. And acting just like a corrupt third world dictator, Biden has unleashed a cadre of unscrupulous government bureaucrats he controls to act like rabid wolves and attack his greatest threat, launching one of the greatest witch hunts in history. But Biden's underestimated the intelligence of voters, and Trump's support is growing even stronger as hardworking Americans come together in huge numbers to stand with the one person they know has their backs and will fight to make America great again.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
His ads are freaking awesome. He's done some really great ads. I just wish that they were played in more places. I wish that they put them, they're just we play them. They're played within conservative circles. I wish that they were on more major networks and stuff like that. I don't know how that you have to pay. You have to pay to play, but the RNC needs to, I don't know. They need to be helping with that too. And I don't.
The RNC is
they're worthless.
Useless.
They're totally useless. They really are. So they need to be helping with all that kind of stuff. They need to be helping with all the candidates, and they're just not. They suck so hard.
They're awful. And it's because of Rana, who, by the way, Trump supported. I mean, he, we could have had Harmeet who would have been a complete
Oh my
rock
God.
star.
A force. Yeah.
I cannot believe that we have Rana again.
Right.
God, she's awful. Absolutely
Terrible.
awful. Trump also did an interview where he explained, and I think this was with a Breitbart reporter, where the Breitbart reporter was saying, hey, remember how you used to call Hillary Clinton Crooked Hillary? And now you're calling Joe that. So who is worse? That was the question. And here is the answer.
So in 2016, you very famously branded Hillary Clinton as Crooked Hillary.
Yeah.
Who's worse, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton?
Well, I took the name off Crooked. We call her Beautiful Hillary now because, that one's over with. And the word crooked was very pertinent, I think. It was a very good word for Biden. No, he's crooked. He's a crooked. He's the most corrupt president we've ever had. And he's also the worst president we've ever had. You look at what happened in Afghanistan, you look at what happened with inflation, look at the economy, look what's going on. No, he's the worst president we've ever had in this country. You look at our border, millions and millions of people are pouring into our country, and nobody knows who they are. But they're from prisons, from mental institutions, and they're terrorists. And they're coming in, millions of people, and they don't know.
So now it's Hillary.
And it's Crooked Joe.
Crooked
I love
Joe.
it.
I don't know why you had to give her a compliment name though. Like why?
Why is she beautiful? She's not.
That's not accurate.
No. No. He could have just like given her another horrible name, like raggedy old Hillary or something.
Like Moo Moo Hillary or
Sea Hag Hillary.
Sea Hag Hillary.
He could have asked us. We could have helped.
We could have totally helped with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, it was a great ad. And I saw some people asking for us to post it. So you know what? I'm going to make a note to self, post Trump ad. I'm going to do it, you guys. It'll be on our website within, an hour after today's show. So you can check it out there and share it everywhere. Meanwhile, DeSantis also on lots and lots of talk shows, lots and lots of interviews right now. He was asked about whether or not it's a good strategy for Republicans right now to pursue possible impeachment of Joe Biden with this Hunter Biden storyline. And here is what he said.
Right thing, focusing on Hunter Biden and this investigation. Breaking news today is that his business partner, Devon Archer, said allegedly that some 20 times then Vice President Biden was on a speakerphone talking about the businesses. Your reaction to that and the focus on this investigation?
Well, this is why we say there's two standards of justice. If Hunter were a Republican, he'd be in jail by now. You look at all this smoke, and yet the FBI, where's the search warrants? Where's the grand jury? Where's the aggressiveness that they've shown going after some Republicans? You just don't see it.
Including former President Trump.
Including former President Trump. I mean, compare how they handled the Mar-a-Lago. They went through everything they could to get any piece of information. They are not doing that with Hunter. Of course, they didn't do it with Hillary back in 2016. So we look at that, but look at all the possible corruption. I mean, Hunter, he's selling paintings for over $1 million. My 6-year-old daughter does better paintings than him. Maybe we'll put ours up and see what kind of things she can fix. I don't think we're going to get $1 million on it.
I mean, he's not wrong. There's nothing he said there that wasn't, he's not wrong.
He's not. He was also shown a clip of Trump saying what a bad job he did during COVID, which is the oddest kind of track of attack that I think Trump has chosen against DeSantis. And so he can't get out of being asked about Trump in every interview. There's just no getting around it. He will be asked about Trump every single time he's interviewed.
These two are going to fight to the death.
I think you're
right. They are the two front runners. They are going to fight to the death. It's going to be ugly and to the bitter end.
Yeah.
Period.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other things. I mean, Trump could go after him maybe for the Disney stuff or whatever, but like his handling of COVID, that is not the place that Trump should be focusing because Trump is responsible in many ways for Fauci, for the vaccine fast track, all of that stuff. So it's just a weird thing. That's one of the reasons that I would love to see them debate because that is something they should be debating about. But in this case, Neil, I think, shows DeSantis Trump's attack of him about COVID, and then DeSantis has an opportunity to respond.
Because he has better PR than other governors, but other governors did a better job than Ron DeSanctimonius.
Well, he used to say the opposite. Let's just be clear. You go back a year or two, he would say what a great job I've done in Florida, how I'm one of the country's great governors, how Florida is such a great state. He always said that for years and years, until about 3 days before the midterm election. Then he started to attack me, and I think it's because he saw that we were going to win a big victory, and I think he viewed me as a political threat. So now he's flip-flopped on all that and is trying to say we did a bad job. I fought his administration to keep our state open, to have kids in school. Fauci, the task force, all those people, they were sending me missives. Even January of 2021, right before he left office, his task force was telling us in Florida to close. And so he didn't have control over his own government. He didn't have control over Fauci. Fauci ran that government his last year in office. Trump should have fired him. He did not do that. He elevated Fauci, and he made Fauci an international celebrity.
I mean,
yikes. Okay. Yeah, that's where it gets really ugly. And I hope that, if Trump does become president, one of the first things he does is he goes after Fauci. And I know he wants to go after the Biden crime family, but I honestly, as a tax-paying citizen, Biden is sort of like secondary to me. Like, that's fine, go after the Biden crime family, but can you please go after Fauci first? Go after him, because he ruined so many freaking lives, and he's the highest paid federal employee, and he's taken a nice Mac Daddy pension from us. So if you can just please go after that guy and maybe put him in prison, that would be nice. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks.
And I think he could do it by distancing himself and saying he didn't know that Fauci was lying about the gain of function stuff in Wuhan. He could easily distance himself. The problem is that when he goes and attacks DeSantis for the lockdown, for whatever he did during COVID, it just rings so fake, because he too there's so many clips of Trump saying, if a governor tries to stay open when I don't think they should, I will stop that from happening. Yeah. So, in some ways, Trump acted very tyrannical during COVID also.
Well, I don't think that he liked Fauci. I don't think that he liked Birx. I don't think that Trump was a fan of either one of those people. I just, I don't know. I don't know what his reasoning was for keeping them around. But I don't think that he liked them. I think he hated. He has
said his reasoning, like he has said in previous interviews, I kept them because he knew he would get backlash from
if he just fired him. If he just got rid of him and completely, and he was in the trenches, and listen, he made the decisions he made. If he just would own up to stuff like that now and just reiterated the fact that, listen, I didn't like him, I didn't like her, I didn't like some of the decisions, but it is what it is. This is what I did, and I can kind of make amends with it now. I can course correct now, and let's hold that guy accountable now for some of the crap that he did. And you're right, distance himself from him, but he's not really doing that. I wish he would do that. And he could do that. If he becomes president again, he could do that and hold that troll accountable once and for all. That's what a lot of us really want, because my God, I just want to see him have some accountability and all the horrible things that he did.
Yeah. There needs to be accountability, and he could use it so much to his strength. Like, he could really play this up as a strength. The problem is he won't own his own part, the role that he played. And as long as he won't, he can't distance himself. So I think Trump's best strategy would be to actually say, you know what? And I would totally buy this. Like, if he said, we did the best we could with the information that we had at the time.
But I think he did. He totally did.
But he doesn't say that. Instead, he defends everything he did. Instead of owning where there were mistakes, he just defends it. And I feel like he would really sway so many people, myself included, if he would just own where they made mistakes, recognize them, own them, and promise accountability. But instead, he's like, the vaccine was so great, and I fast-tracked that, and Fauci, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't own any of the bad parts. And if he would, people would forgive that. People would be like, you were doing the best you could. Just say that. Just say
Well,
it. Don't try to make everything sound like it was great when it wasn't.
Well, people already do forgive him, Mock. I mean, people already do.
Well, yeah,
people
his
who are
diehards
his,
are gonna
yeah, the
forgive everything.
diehards already do forgive him. They don't. They just kind of. They don't see. They don't care. They already
Yeah.
do forgive him. You know, I'm just, to me, I don't really. I just want Fauci to be held accountable. That's all I want. I don't care who's in office. I just want somebody to hold that guy accountable, because he, to me, was the mastermind behind a lot of this stuff. And we're finding that out now. We're finding it out. A lot of us are seeing that, you know, that house of cards is crumbling now. And we're starting to see that he really was the mastermind behind a lot of that crap. And I want to see him fry.
Well, Rand Paul is doing his absolute darndest, and we're going to get to that in just a second. But I also wanted to show you this clip because Bret Baier asked him outright, DeSantis, do you get tired of being called DeSanctimonius? And here's the reply.
You ever get sick of hearing Ron DeSanctimonius?
Not really. I mean, like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't think a lot of that stuff really tracks with the voters.
He says it because you weren't loyal to him, and he stood up for you when you needed him in an election, and you wouldn't have won because of it.
So here's the thing. I'm loyal to my family, the Constitution, and the good Lord. Politicians don't deserve fealty. They have to earn support. I fought for him on the Russia collusion. I was one of only a handful of people very early on to publicly go out and defend him, and I did that for years. And yes, he supported me for governor, but then I supported him for re-election. I raised him more money than any elected official. We helped deliver Florida. Remember, his people were saying, oh, if we don't win Florida, it's all the governor. We're relying on the governor. Well, we won it, and so we were there for him. Then, 3 days before my re-election, I've never done anything to the guy. He starts attacking me and does this.
I believe that.
Yeah. I believe you raised more money for him than anybody
Yeah,
else.
I believe that.
So
It's
anyway.
politics are ugly, man.
It's ugly. Oh man, is it ugly?
So freaking ugly, and it's gonna get even uglier.
Oh my God, how much? Yeah,
We got some
what, at least
time.
another year of this. Not quite a year, but
yeah, we do. But enough of a year where it's gonna just get so bloody.
It's gonna be bloody.
It's gonna be bad.
All right, so Rand Paul. Rand Paul has officially criminally referred Anthony Fauci to the DOJ because now there is hard evidence from Fauci's own emails that he knew that he was lying in previous testimonies. He lied under oath. That itself is a federal crime. Of course, his actual crimes go way deeper than that.
Totally.
And of course, this DOJ will likely do nothing about it, but at least we've got Republicans who are doing the best that they can with the power that they have to seek accountability. Here's Rand Paul saying what's going on.
In early February 1st, with a group of prominent virologists from around the world. In private, they all were telling him, we think it came from the lab. It looks like it's been genetically manipulated. It looks like it came from the lab. It's not a fringe theory. It's not a conspiracy theory. We think it's a most likely cause, but we think it'll be damaging to the business of science. We think it'll be damaging to the relations with China. So I bring Fauci before my committee, or he's brought before the committee, and I ask him, did you fund gain-of-function research in Wuhan? He says, absolutely, unequivocally, he never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan. Well, now we have an email from him summarizing a phone call from February 1st of 2020. He summarized the phone call by saying many people are suspicious that this came from the lab because it looks manipulated. We're particularly suspicious because we know in that lab they're doing gain-of-function research. And he was trying to wiggle out of this with me by saying, oh, it's not gain-of-function. Here we have him in private admitting that it's gain-of-function. He describes the research, and we have now that research in a paper, in a journal, with the grant number from the NIH. So he's dead to rights having lied to Congress. It's a felony to lie to Congress, and he should be prosecuted.
Yes, he should be prosecuted. Absolutely prosecuted. Once and for all. I'm so tired of this guy getting away with everything.
Same.
God. And and remember how smug he was about it? Remember when a complete jerk he was to Rand Paul? It's like, I don't need to answer your questions. Like, I'm so above you. I'm an elitist. So I don't have to answer. Like, I cannot believe I'm even here. I'm
And he constantly
Fauci.
said, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about.
I should be doing a Vanity Fair spread right now. I shouldn't be here. Brad Pitt's going to play me in the biopic of my life. I'm Fauci. I am science. God, I hate that guy.
Same.
He's just such a jerk. And he thinks he's above it all because all of the people, the mask wearing weirdos who like just idolized this guy and thought that he was God. He was a deity for so many years. They put him on this pedestal and he believed his press. He believed all of his own press and he just got the biggest head and he thought he was science. I mean, it's a lunacy.
He said that out loud.
He said it out loud. And he thought other doctors' opinions didn't matter. He thought that he didn't think that actual other science mattered. He thought he was the embodiment of science, which is complete and utter lunacy. Like,
yep.
Yeah. And he lied. You cannot lie to Congress. So, I mean, I thought that was a felony. It used to be that it was a felony.
It is. And that's why he did the referral. But it's up to this DOJ to actually do something with that.
This is the thing. And because he's a Democrat, he probably won't go to jail. So again, we have the two tiers of justice. Somebody needs to make this guy go to jail.
We don't care who. It doesn't matter.
Somebody needs to make sure that happens because you should not get away with lying to Congress. Like if he were a Republican, he'd be in jail. Mm-hmm. He'd be in jail for so many other reasons. I mean, look at all the other things this guy has done. Look at all of the people that have suffered because of this guy. Never forget, y'all.
Doxy Mama, thank you. Doxy says sending billions to Ukraine, family of 13 pays 60 grand. Yeah, there was a headline about that, how they had to pay 60 grand for like returning of their remains. They had to pay for it instead of like that just being paid for by the government. Unbelievable.
I read that. I'm sorry. I just on that note, I read that one of the 13 soldiers that was killed in Afghanistan had to do the same. Like their family.
All of them. That was the headline. That they all had to.
All of them? Like it wasn't just like a couple of them, but it was all.
That's what I thought. I could be wrong about that, but the fact that it would be one is
oh my God, that's the thing, because I read that it was just a couple of them, but if it's outrageous for any of them to have to do that. It's outrageous, you guys. Yeah. And then we're paying for pensions in Ukraine. What is even happening in our country?
Jill Smith, thank you so much. She says, FJB, I can't take it.
Right.
Girl, we feel you on
that.
We
do. We totally feel you on that. We're right there.
My gosh. All right. Lastly, this is going to enrage everybody because it enraged me. But you have to see the level of just insane lunacy that there is, the sheer level of racism that comes from some Black people on TikTok. I saw this yesterday. I was like, how dare this woman? I would have responded to her had her account not been ultimately blocked.
Oh, it was.
It was, but she keeps starting new ones. So there's another one. And this is like her 11th account that she has started because she's so vile and so racist.
Yeah, because I was going to ask.
TikTok can't even take it.
Yeah, I was going to ask if that's allowed on TikTok. Because I mean,
not to this extent, but of course people have saved it. And this will just give you an example. Her new account still is just as bad. But this is the kind of stuff that you'll see. And at the same time, you'll have the pearl clutching white liberal women insisting, Black people can't be racist. Really? Then what is this?
Are not Black, if your skin is not brown, if you are not melanated, then you do not have the right to come under my videos talking back to my people. Your opinions are not wanted, nor are they relevant. So why do you feel like you need to come and keep saying something to my people? You need to ask me my permission before you speak or comment on my videos. You come under my video and say, Lord, may I please have your permission to say something. Then you wait for me to give you my permission before you start tapping, moving your little pasty fingers around on my page. You people have been talking way too much for way too long, and your time is officially up. It is Black power forever.
She calls herself the Black Messiah. Yikes.
Oh my God.
Wow. Jesus would be happy with that. That's have fun
I
with
mean,
that. Yeah,
she is a lunatic.
she is a lunatic. But she's not the only one. Because when
No.
when we were doing pre-show, I looked at that last night, and there are a lot of folks that are doing accounts like that that are like really angry at white people, and they scream stuff like that. And
there
like,
were so many comments on some of her videos that were like, "Preach, girl." I mean, they love her.
yeah,
They love it.
that's a generational thing, right? I mean, it's like they've been taught. Like a lot of, Black people in this younger generation have been taught to hate white people. I think it's taught. You got racism is taught. I mean, let's just get real. It's kind of like skin color is taught.
Yeah.
It's like I remember having conversations with my husband. I'm like, when is our daughter going to see that there's a difference between her and kids who are Black or brown or whatever? Because I'm not going to tell her. There's going to be some lunatic liberal that's going to tell her. It's not going to be me. And sure enough, it was some stupid ass liberal that told her. And then she came home and she was like, mommy, like somebody, this is the thing. They find out from life. Somebody who is a jerk says something about like, I'm Black and you're white, or they hear it on TV or they hear it somewhere in life. And it wasn't because of me. And I was just bracing myself. And I hated that. I hated when, she found out that there's differences, because there is no difference. The only difference is that she has less melanin because of me, because I belong in a dark pub somewhere. If she has less melanin in her skin than somebody else, who cares?
I don't know why this is a thing.
It's just melanin. Like, get over it, everybody. God, it's just so dumb. It really is dumb.
All right, it is time for your whack.
Okay, we have this. We
just
had
play the video, or how do you want?
Yeah,
me to...
you might as well want to play. I feel like we need to get past this whack. I mean, I was gonna just brush over this. There's some Japanese dude who has made himself a collie. You guys,
let me see if there's video that I can actually get to play, because it's just spinning.
I mean,
there's
you
lots
could
of pictures.
I mean, we could just show the pictures if you want. This guy turned himself into a collie. He's been working on this for years. I think we talked about this guy on our radio show.
I think we did. Yeah.
Years ago. He's been working. He has spent $14,000 to become a collie. He made his debut as a collie just this week, I think, in fact. This guy's a complete moron. He wants to be a collie, and he's like getting backlash from people, but he's like, listen, I'm going to do this. He's not outing himself as a human. Like, he doesn't want his friends and family to know that he's doing this. So he stays in the costume, I guess. And this is a hobby of his. He said, it's a really important hobby to me. It's a great costume. I mean, I'll give him that. It is a fetish for him.
It's very well done.
But I will say, who are we to judge, right? I mean, if men want to be women, and people want to be cats, and people want to be dogs, this is what people are doing now, right? So I
mean, he says it's not a fetish. He gets mad when people accuse him of it being a fetish. He doesn't like that.
I bet he does. I bet he gets mad. Yeah, I'm sure he gets mad. This guy's a lunatic. Let's just get real. He's crazy. He's crazy. Normal men don't do this. Normal men don't spend $14,000 in years of their life to become collies. And also, why did he pick collie? Why did he pick a collie? Why didn't he pick a Great Dane?
I think that was just his favorite.
Why didn't he pick a Chihuahua? That would have been a lot harder.
That's true. He probably wanted as big of a costume that would be furry. That
Great Dane would have been ideal. I mean, you could have at least been a 180-pound dog. A Great Dane would have been totally ideal for him. But he chose collie. I'm not sure why he chose a collie.
It's just his favorite breed.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's his favorite. So.
Yeah, but this is the thing. So men are identifying as dogs now. This is what they're doing.
And who are you to judge? If he says he's a dog, he's a dog. That's science.
This is our community now. This is our society. This is what people are doing. They're walking around as other species now. But yeah, we shouldn't judge, right? And if you judge, then you are what is it? What would that be? What kind of an ist is that? Is it a dogist? Is it a man dogist? What is it? What are you?
Dog manist. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
It's some sort of an ist that you'll be called. And I mean, we can laugh about it, but seriously, like in the next couple years, this is going to be just mainstream.
God. Wow. It is time for some My Pillow talks. My Pillow, of course, still celebrating 20 years in business, making the best possible products on the planet, including their towels, including their sheets, and including their pillows, which right now you can get a queen size for less than $20. Grab yourself a pair of them while the deal is hot, hot, hot. It is at mypillow.com/chicks. We are going to start off with a rather serious TikTok today because it's about AI. And I know I've played these guys before talking about the future of AI and what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
They're going to address one particular component or aspect of AI that we've talked about here, which are the scams where they use people's voices and then send the like terrifying, call parents and say, I've been kidnapped or whatever. But they also shed light on other horrible things that are coming. And it's just really jarring, you guys, to think about the possibilities. And so I don't want to be scared all by myself. So everybody needs to see this.
This is our future. But how about this? I mean, computer code, that's just a type of language. So you can say, and this is a real example that I tried, GPT, find me a security vulnerability, then write some code to exploit it. So I posted in some code. This is from like a mail server. And I said, please find any exploits and describe any vulnerabilities in the following code, then write a script to exploit them. And in around 10 seconds, that was the code to exploit it. So while it is not yet the case that you can ask an AI to hack a Wi-Fi router, you can see in the double exponential, whether it's 1 year or 2 years or 5 years, at some soon point, it becomes easy to turn all of the physical hardware that's already out there into kind of the ultimate surveillance.
Now, one thing for you all to get is that these might look like separate demos. Like, oh, there's some people over here that are building some specialized AI for hacking Wi-Fi routers. And there's some people over here building some specialized AI for inventing images from text. But the reason we show in each case the language of English and computer code, of English and images, of space, is that this is all, everyone's contributing to one kind of technology that's going like this. So even if it's not everywhere yet and doing everything yet, we're trying to give you a sneak preview of the capabilities and how fast they're growing, so you understand how fast we have to move if we want to actually start to steer and constrain it. Now, many of you are aware of the fact that images can, the new AI can actually copy your voice, right? You can get someone's voice, Obama and Putin, people have seen those videos. What they may not know is it only takes 3 seconds of your voice to reconstruct it. So here's a demo of the first 3 seconds are of a real person speaking, even though she sounds a little bit metallic. The rest is just what the computer automatically generated her
of people are,
real.
in 9 cases out of 10, mere spectacle reflections of the actuality of things. But they are impressions of something different and more.
Here's another one with piano. First 3 seconds are real piano. Indistinguishable, right? So the first 3 seconds are real piano. The rest is just automatically generating.
Now, one of the things I want to say is, as we saw these first demos, we sat and thought, like, how is this going to be used? We're like, what would be terrifying is if someone were to call up, your son or your daughter and get a couple seconds, hey, I'm sorry, I got the wrong number, grab their voice, then turn around and call you and be like, hey, dad, hey, mom, I forgot my social security number. I'm applying for this thing. What was it again? And we're like, that's scary.
We thought about that conceptually, and then this actually happens.
Exactly. And this happens more and more, that we will think of something, and then we'll look in the news, and within a week or 2 weeks, there it is. So this is that exact thing happening. And then 1 month ago, an AI cloned teen's girl voice in a $1 million kidnapping scam. So these things are not theoretical. Sort of as fast as you can think of them, people can deploy them.
And of course, people are familiar with how this has been happening in social media, because you can beautify photos. You can actually change someone's voice in real time. Those are new demos. Some of you may be familiar with this. This is the new beautification filters in TikTok.
I can't believe this is a filter. The fact that this is what filters have evolved into is actually crazy to me. I grew up with the dog filter on Snapchat, and now this filter gave me lip fillers. This is what I look like in real life.
Oh my God.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know if you can tell, she was pushing on her lip in real time. And as she pushed on her lip, the lip fillers were going in and out in real time, indistinguishable from reality. And now you're going to be able to create your own avatar. This is just from a week ago. A 23-year-old Snapchat influencer took her own likeness and basically created a virtual version of her as a kind of a boyfriend, a girlfriend as a service for $1 a minute. And people will be able to sell their, avatar souls to basically interact with other people in their voice and their likeness, etc.
It's as if no one ever actually watched The Little Mermaid. The thing to say is that this is the year that photographic and video evidence ceases to work, right? And our institutions have not caught up to that yet, right? This is the year you do not know when you talk to someone if you're actually talking to them, even if you have
that's
video,
freaking me out.
even if you have audio.
I mean,
I miss the 80s, y'all.
God,
I
right?
totally miss the 80s. I just miss it. Don't you guys miss the 80s? I do.
I
do.
Oh my God.
I liked it better when we played outside and like there were no smartphones and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I am so nervous about all of this.
Burn it
Just
all with
so nervous.
fire.
For
all
real.
of it. Just burn it all.
All right, we need some good. We need some.
Yeah,
good
we do.
stuff, right?
Show us some puppies, man.
I will. I have so many good things for you today. We're going to start with a couple who the woman is asking her husband, "Hey, what would you do if like some total hottie came up and flirted with you? I want to know what your reaction would be." So she was putting him to the test, and I think, well, you'll just see how he does.
Cody, I have a question.
This was over.
Listen, you're in public. You're without me. You're out. You're looking good. You're smelling good. Looking crispy, fresh. And some baddie, I'm talking 10 out of 10 straight across the board, starts coming up to you, trying to hit on you, trying to flirt with you. It's like, ooh, ooh, what's your number? Ooh, you got a girlfriend? You got a wife? That's what they start doing. What do you do in response to that?
How bad are we talking?
Do not fucking play with me right now.
I'm kidding.
What?
Relax. Listen.
What do you do?
Listen. You want to know what I'll do?
Yes, I want to
All
know
right?
what you do.
Let's role play a little bit.
Okay.
You pretend,
Fine.
and then I will pretend that I'm at the bar having a drink. You come up to me, try to hit on me.
Okay. Hey, good looking. Think you're mighty handsome. I like that little beard you got going on there.
I'm married, bitch.
I'd say he passed.
Yeah, he did a good job. That was cute.
Oh my God, I love that. All right, I don't know what's going on with this little fella, but this fella has noises coming out of his self.
Well, you got your coffee. Does that mean you want peanut butter?
That dog is broken. Something is.
Well, you got.
Yeah, something. They need to take that one back and see what's wrong with it.
Oh my God, that dog is insane. And of course we have to have some huskies.
Yes. So fuzzy. So screamy and fuzzy. Oh, there's a baby. Oh. Oh, they're so cute when they're babies. Is he gonna howl? So cute. He's got the mouth going. I love it.
Oh my God. I love that. We also need babies today. Do we not? Baby laughter.
So many babies. Yes.
Okay. That's why we've got a montage of baby giggles and just babies.
Oh, I love it. Oh no.
Wait, these are baby fails, not giggles. Sorry, my bad.
Evelyn, what are you doing?
He's gonna sit on that chair.
On that tiny little chair. I'm gonna put my butt right in that chair. Yay! No. Oh, dad.
Right?
It's such a dad thing. Oh my God.
Oh. Aww.
That's so sweet. Oh my
much
God.
napping.
All the napping. Oh,
So cute.
sweet babies.
Sorry, I promised giggles and there were none.
I mean, that was just as good.
But
All the
here's
babies.
one. Here's one that will melt your heart. It is so sweet.
Guess what? I have decided that I love you and that you were sent to my life for a reason and that I'm gonna adopt you. Okay? You're adopted, Mama. You're adopted. Okay?
When I'm with you.
Oh my God.
I'm intoxicated.
Oh my God.
That's so sweet. I cannot.
Ow, my heart. What's the matter?
My mic came out. I'm
Oh.
okay. Sorry, it just fell out.
We also have some hilarious cat voiceovers. There might be a couple repeats in this montage, but most of them were new to me, which I'm always so excited about with Rockstar because he is the greatest voiceover of animals
Absolute greatest.
in the history of ever. Here we go.
Krieger.
Yeah.
Are you so bad?
Because I'm a house cat, but I want to go out and roam like a lion in the jungle, but you never let me outside. Ever.
Oh my God, cat.
Ow!
Shut up.
Who the hell are you talking to? Wow.
You want some more?
Want to fight over a fluffy toy, bro? I wasn't even trying to take your toy. You ain't have to slap the hair off my chin like that.
Watch your tail, man. You trying to hit me up front. What you doing up there anyway? I want to look out the window. Let me come up there and look out the window. Watch
My
your
God.
tail. Ah, I'm hanging by thread. I'm all right. I'm all right.
What's up, bro? Why you at the house? You said you was go beat my ass after class. Why you run on so fast? Come outside. I'm here. Come outside. And all that smack about my mama. Now you won't come out here and face me like a real cat. Bring your ass out the house and face me like a real cat. You said you was gonna beat my ass after class, but I don't care if your mama filming this. Boy, I'll whoop you. I'll whoop you at your house. Come outside.
He is so great.
Oh
He
my
just
God, I
gets
love him
better
so
and
much.
better and better. I love him.
I love my favorite one. That it doesn't matter how many times I see it. When the cat gets the nails clipped and it looks up like, who the
hell you think you are?
That's my favorite. I love that
Oh my
one so
God.
much.
What? Okay. Are you getting up? Are you getting up? Nope, he's not. It's Tuesday. I think
Is he on a
Tuesdays are.
yoga mat. What is he laying on?
No, he's laying on my rug.
Oh, okay.
See
Now
my
I
rug.
see. Yeah,
He's laying
yeah.
on the rug. But he might as well be doing yoga. He's doing downward dog right now. You guys, bring it in. He just doesn't feel like it. He's not getting up today. I think Tuesdays are not his day. You know?
It's only Tuesday.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of a slow week already, you know?
Yeah, it feels
Yeah.
Oh.
You know who I blame? The Bidens and the Kardashians for everything. I blame the Bidens and the
Oh, you should.
Kardashians for all of the bad things. You know,
You
them
should.
and Fauci, you guys. Yeah, always.
You should.
You guys try to make it the best Tuesday of your life.
Ever.
Do it. And we will talk to you tomorrow.